Hello, my little nightmares, and welcome back. It is me, Queen Nightmare. How are you? How are you guys? It's. Oh, jeez. I'll fall over soon. Okay, guys, I'm going to read part 5 and 6. Maybe I'll read more, but we'll never know. No, I do not want to write any more of Ben Drowned. My goodness, I need to not write anything. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's your partner? The coming weekend, Draco, Pansy, Blaze, Theodore, and Pike, and Millicent. Why don't I know that name? Went to go shopping, as Pansy said. Draco did actually need dress robes for the Yule ball, and was seen as the most feminine boy of the group, which Draco was furious about. Pansy had wanted to choose a dress, but since Theodore and Millicent, why don't I know that name, are a couple, they will be spending most of their time with each other. Thus, Draco will be going dress shopping with Pansy. Good luck, my dude. We take so much time in the dressing rooms. It's hard to put on some clothes. You have to, literally suck in to get into them sometimes. It was currently Friday morning in the Great Hall. Everyone was having breakfast. Draco didn't realize that Pansy was in fact rambling on about her choice of dresses. But instead of listening to her, he was in his own kind of trance. When did Potter suddenly become stage frightened? He's been shoved to talk to strangers and put on the front page too many times to count. A little ball isn't going to throw him off, surely. He might be hiding something. Draco scanned the room for Potter, but couldn't see him. Dang it. Potty, where are you? He saw Weasley and Granger sat having their breakfast. Ron still looking angry from being paired with Blaze. Come on, Weasley, it's not that bad. Dancing with a Slytherin? Grow up. Why isn't Potter there? Whatever, like I care. And Draco went back to pretending he knew what Pansy was saying, and nodding from every now and then, and finished his breakfast. Harry wasn't at breakfast because he was too busy talking to Rita Skeeter. Did I say that right? Rita Skeeter? Sounded like a band name for a second. That's what the name I thought it was. They were having their photo taken as for the Triwizard Tournament. Cedric nudged him. Oh, Cedric's still alive. I thought they would have written him off. We have to go through that pain. No. Cedric nudged him with his elbow gently, and Harry looked up at him. He was at least a head taller than Draco, and nodded in the direction of Rita falling over. Fun. I want to see that happening. Harry let out a quiet giggle, and Cedric made a small laughing sniff, and tried covering it up by coughing. Something funny, boys? Rita said, straightening out her clothes and bringing out her quill. Harry shook his head slowly and discreetly. After taking the photo, she shook all their hands while saying, I'm Rita Skeeter, which you probably already know. If we don't know. Okay, she said, smiling. Oh, right. Well, I needed a quick interview with all of you. Who should we start with? Just as she finished that, she grabbed Harry's arm and said, Let's start with the youngest, shall we? She pulled him into a small cupboard and looked at him with a dreamy look, which Harry made him feel uncomfortable. So, of course you're the most famous one out of the participants. That's more important. I forgot how much I hated this character, she said, flicking her quill on her nose and walking to sit down, and Harry followed with his eyebrows fused together. So, tell me, what's it like being so young and wanting all this attention, golden boy? She said, flicking her quill at him. Again, he pushed it down, already getting annoyed, and was about to speak up until, would your parents like that you put your name in the cup? Wanting more of a challenge this year. Facing Voldemort in first year, second year, a basilisk, and Dementors. Not good enough, she said spitefully. Hey, I didn't ask for this to happen. I just... Yeah, she said, getting bored. Harry's eyebrows still close together. Everyone loves a rebel Harry, she said, smirking and winking. Harry was getting annoyed pretty quickly and was thinking about leaving. The Yule ball's coming up. Who's the lucky girl, Potter? She said, knowing that there were assigned partners. Now Harry was annoyed. He hated Skeeter. Don't blame me, my dude. She was invading his personal life like he ever had a personal life, with the whole wizarding world knowing who he is. That is a secret, he said, trying to state he tried to state while he was trying to leave. Who cares? The Daily Prophet would want to hear. Tell me. He leaned in closely with her quill, also leaning in closer to him. I'm not telling you, he almost yelled. He shifted back a bit. She was so close he could feel her breath on him. Skeeter got annoyed too, but since she couldn't do any harm to him because they were in Hogwarts, she dismissed him. Harry was walking into Charms with Ron and was still mad at being paired with a Slytherin. I'm sorry, I'm at my dad's, so can't say anything like that. Hey, mate, I forgot who's your partner, Ron said curiously. No one important. Harry said, but knew that Draco was very special to him, but didn't know at the same time. Come on, mate. I won't be mad, promise, Ron said, patting him on the back. Harry got confused. He didn't know whether to tell him or not. He figured if he was really his best friend, he wouldn't mind, but then realized how much of a deal he was making it. Someone from Hufflepuff, Harry said, looking away from Ron. Name? Ron walked in front of him and stopped. Ron, we're going to be late for Charms. We need to hurry up, Harry said, moving out of the way of his friend. Right, well, don't think you're getting out of this conversation. Oh, yes, he is, Ron said quickly, following behind. After Charms in the Great Hall. So, Harry, Ron turned his face to his. Tell me about the person from Hufflepuff. Ron's focus not leaving Harry's face. What person from Hufflepuff? Said Hermione, being nosy. Harry's dance partner is from Hufflepuff. Didn't he tell you? Ron said, looking at Hermione, who was looking between the two, confused. Harry looked at Hermione as to say, just go with it. Oh, he said, his dance partner was from Hufflepuff? but didn't give me a name either. Hermione looking at Harry, thinking she might have saved Harry. Well, tell us. Don't leave us hanging, Ron said impatiently. Are they a boy or a girl? What's their hair color? Eye color? Or are they friends with us? Or are they... their name is Hannah Abbott. Oh, boy. Harry lied. Abbott? Ron said with disgusting look on his face. At least it's a girl. Then it can't be that bad, right? I want to know who Malfoy is paired up with. No one would want to dance with that scum like himself. Oof, Ron, ouch. That hurts me. I'm a Slytherin and that hurts me. I feel like he's calling me a scum. Don't hurt Draco. Ron laughed at himself. Hermione looked at Harry to see if he was hurt. Harry knew he could not tell Ron. He was partnered with Malfoy. Harry knew the best thing to do was to talk to Draco about this. Harry said he needed to go to the bathroom and left to find Draco. He saw he wasn't in the Great Hall and tried to find his friend instead, which they weren't hard to find. Harry ran over to Pansy and asked where Malfoy was. Why do you want to know, Potter? She said. Yeah, that's how it's spelled. Don't ask me why they spelled it that way. Maybe she's teasing him. Booping him on the nose. Is she drunk? She must be. That's not it. I need to talk to him about the thing. Harry got slightly embarrassed because he had no other reason to talk to Draco. Right, well, he's gone to Snape, so you might catch him, she said, winking. Oh, okay, thanks, bye. Harry ran to Snape's room, but ran straight into Ron. Oh, sorry, Ron. And tried to shuffle past them. Where are you going? Bathrooms are that way, Ron said, pointing to the opposite direction. Yes, but I needed to, Harry was lost for words. He's just going to the library, aren't you, Harry? Hermione said, answering for him and smiling. Yes, that's it. What I'm doing, yes, bye. Smooth, Harry, smooth. Harry said awkwardly and ran off, trying not to bump into any other person. No! How dare you? Ads suck. Why do you do this to me? Why? Just why? Do 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 do. Fine. Shut up. Okay. PHIAL of ideal mind. Do not know what that says. Harry ran through loads of ghosts and into people. Harry, I thought you were supposed to not do that. He really was the worst with navigating his way around people. Snape had just locked Draco out of his classroom when Harry ran straight into Draco's back. Oi, watch it! Draco shouted, collapsing onto the phone. Oh, Potter, what the heck are you doing? What are you doing running around the place? Draco said, trying to calm himself. I was trying to find you, Harry said, picking himself up and giving Draco a hand. Thanks, Draco said, looking around to see if anyone was watching. Why did you want to see me? He asked while dusting his robes off. I just wanted to say that... Harry. What are you doing, Malfoy? Oh, Draco away. Ron. You have one job. It's called go to see Blaze. Just go see Blaze and see that you like him. Just go. Just run. Walk away. Ron said while waddling across the... Waddling? Yes, thank you, author, for saying that. Waddling across to Harry. Harry pushed Malfoy gently and said, trying to act hard. Yeah, and... What are you... Oh, no. This is gonna get... I'm gonna cry. No. Yeah, and stay away, Harry said weakly. What are you talking about, Potter? Draco said, being slightly concerned. No, we're doing this all wrong, said Hermione, and got out her wand and pointed it at Draco. Hey, Hermione, what are you doing? Let's just leave, Malfoy. He hasn't done anything to me, Harry said, looking at his friends. He was pretty confused that Hermione acted this way. She was the more reasonable one. No, Harry, he was born and has called us many names. He deserves it. Oh, same. No, I have been born. That's the only reason why I shouldn't be, Hermione said, her wand still pointing at Draco. Hey, look, I'm sorry and all, but you don't need to get your wand in a knot. What type of wand is he talking about? Draco said, backing up into the potion store. Are you purging now, Malfoy? Now you've seen how strong we are. Ron spat, grabbing Draco's tie. Ron! I don't know where that came from. I think I'm dying on the inside. Ron! Harry screamed and pushed him off Draco. You're going against us? Because you do not want to go against us, he said, smiling wickedly. Why would you think I'm going against you? Hermione, why are you acting like this? He said, flickering between his friends. Acting like what? I've always been like this, Hermione said, lowering her wand. Harry looked straight into Hermione's eyes. Weird. Hermione had brown eyes, now black. Ron had black eyes too. This has got to be a spell or something. Hermione, Ron, snap out of it, Harry yelled. Potter, what is going on? Draco demanded. Look at their eyes, Harry whispered, then walking up to Ron and Hermione, shaking them. I know this. I've seen this before. What is it called? Father used to use this on me when I was little, and I didn't do what he wanted. Potter, said a slow voice behind Draco. Harry zipped around to see a large black-robed person with greasy black hair. Professor, Harry said, letting go of Ron, stumbling over his words. He's with me, Professor. Draco spoke up, turning to face Snape with his hands behind his back to show respect. Right. Well, what's with Mr. Weasley and Mrs. Granger? It's not Mrs. Granger. They're not married yet. I'm sorry. It's M-I-S-S, not M-R-S yet, because she's not married. Snape gasped slightly, like he knew what was happening. Bring them in here quickly, Snape said, opening the door to his classroom wide. Harry grabbed Ron and Hermione, apologizing. Get your hands off me, Potter! They screamed. They never say Potter. They always say Harry. I've never heard of them say Potter before. Harry tried his best to ignore it as he brought them to Snape's potions cupboard. He was trying to find something? Get them to drink this, Snape said, giving Harry 2 small bottles. Here, Ron, Harry said, putting the bottle out in front of him. He slapped it straight out of his hands before he could going back to having a tantrum. Really, Potter? Force them, Snape said, reversing the bottle back from its smashed pieces. He grabbed the bottle and held Ron's nose. He held his breath, making sure he wouldn't breathe until he passed out. Ugh, Weasley, really? You could have gone the easy way, Snape said, making his way over to Hermione, who was still having a tantrum. He held her nose, but she didn't breathe either, and fainted as well. Great. Now we have to do this the hard way. Stupid kids, Snape said, picking up Hermione and forcing the bottle of antidote. Harry heard that he kept his mouth shut. But he kept his mouth shut. He wasn't actually welcome in here. It was only that Draco was there. Professor, what is this potion? I remember it, but can't think of the name, Draco said, stepping forward. Snape looked at him with confusion. How could you have heard of it? I know that you're outstanding in potions, but we have never learned this type of potion in class. Only a very powerful and knowledgeable wizard could correctly brew this potion, Snape said, grabbing Ron and putting the antidote in his mouth before laying him down. A family member, Draco said, looking at his feet, hoping he wouldn't ask more about how he knew of the potion. Well, it is a very complex potion and had very rare ingredients. It's called the phial of idle minds. This potion makes the drinker's eyes darkened and losing control of their actions. Once instructions are said, Snape said, lifting the 2 Gryffindors onto the table. But who would have done that to Ron and Hermione? And you said that this was a very difficult potion and had rare ingredients. How could a student have done this? If we don't even learn it. Harry was worriedly and nervous at Snape's reaction. He gave an unreadable expression and stood up, towering over Harry. Unless it wasn't a student, Harry asked, raising one eyebrow, but Snape got the wrong idea. Now, Potter, if you are suggesting that I did this to your friends, think again. Just because I'm the only potions master here doesn't mean I go around forcing students to drink this dangerous potion. Snape almost threw a tantrum that like Ron and Hermione. No, I don't mean you in specific. I meant if it is I meant if a teacher done this. Because you said... I know what I said. Gosh darn it. Snape said, turning away to levitate the 2 students on tables. Make yourself useful and take these to the hospital wing. Go, he said angrily while pacing. Harry and Draco pushed Ron and Hermione through the door and into the hospital wing. You needed to talk to me? Draco said, referring to the chat before Weasley and Granger bursted in unannounced. Oh, yes, Harry almost whispered. It's complicated. What's complicated? Said Draco, raising an eyebrow. Ouch, hold on. the dance partners, I kind of told Ron and Ron that Hannah Abbott was my dance partner. Harry said, his voice getting higher, waiting for a reaction. What? Why are you going to tell him who your dance partner with? Sooner or later. Draco yelled, stopping and backing away from Harry. I know. I don't know why I done it. Harry said, not being fully honest. Draco took a step back into the wall and slid down it, looking straight ahead into Harry's lower leg. You're embarrassed of me, he said with an emotionless expression. What? Of course not. I am not embarrassed of you, he said, moving forward toward Draco and crouching down in front of him. It seems like it, Potty, he said, turning his head away. I'm not embarrassed of you. I'm trying to protect you, gosh darn it, he said, getting a little angry at the nickname. I don't need your protection, he said, looking at Harry, trying to hold back his tears, but kept an angry expression on. Yes, you do. Darn it. Malfoy, stop it. Stop trying to act so tough. Ron said he was going to beat you until you can't feel your face if you were my partner. Ron roared, Harry roared. Why did I say wrong? Harry roared, holding his upper arm and shaking lightly, and held his tears in his eyes. He didn't know why he felt so sympathetic towards Draco. It's not like he really liked him or anything. Or does he? Dun, dun, dun. Well, if he comes back at me with his eat slug spell, I'll be ready, Draco spat, lifting his hands on Harry's to pull them off. Harry looked down to see he was still holding his hand, until Draco saw him looking and pulled his hand away. Good day, Potter. Harry looked up at Draco's face before he turned the opposite direction, tears streaming down his face. How much time do we have? Oh, we can go a little bit more. Okay, this is not as big. Hogsmeade. After Harry took Hermione and Ron to the hospital, when by himself, he was going to get some flowers and cards, because he heard Snape saying that they could be asleep for a week. Harry needed to go to Hogsmeade tomorrow weekend anyway, because he did, in fact, need some dress robes and shoes for the ball. His first dance practice was coming Monday and needed to be prepared. Sunday, September 27th. It's been a while. Draco was in the Great Hall eating breakfast with Blaise and Theo. Who is Theo? Who are these new names? Blaise had gotten into a deep conversation with Draco and Theo, who didn't exactly care what he was saying. I'm sorry, guys. I had to stop my recording right then because one of your other favorite friends on here just called me, and it was I call her Ray, but you'll know who that is. I did a lot of RPs, not RP, no. I did some other readings on her with her. I think it's Luna. No. Yeah, Luna. It has to be Luna. Okay. Blaise, where are you? Oh, Blaise had gotten into deep conversation with Draco and Theo, who didn't exactly care that what he was saying, but respected that Blaise didn't know that they didn't care, and simply nodded and Draco pushed his bowl forward to show he was going to leave when he looked over to the Gryffindor table and scanned, looking for Potter. Once again, he wasn't there. He hasn't eaten in at least 2 days, that I'm aware of. Dang you, Potter. When I find you, I will force it out of you. Why you're not eating at breakfast and dinner anymore. He quickly got up and left with Pansy, Pike, and Millicent. They headed down to the Slytherin common room to get dressed and wait for Theo and Blaise. You going to get anything for your boyfriend, Ray? Pansy wrapped her arm around Draco's, looking at him in a mocking, dreamy look. Shove off, Parkinson, he sneered, pulling his arm away. I'm sorry, did I miss some gossip? Miss Millicent. My goodness. English language, still a pain in the butt. And with a high-pitched voice, wrapping her arm around Draco's. No, yes, Pansy and Draco said simultaneously. Oh, Millie, you don't know. Draco's partnered with Potter, she squealed, and Draco just edged closer to Pike, who nudged him closer to the girls, who were on the verge of having a scream fit. When did this happen? Millie leaped on Draco, clinging onto him like a koala. Same day everyone got assigned their partner, he said with a bored expression. Millie let go of Draco, held his hand, and started running at the common room. With Draco being a baby and pulling backwards from Millicent. Can I just call her Millie? Millie, just call her Millie, like some of them said. Not using all his strength to show he didn't appreciate being pulled halfway across the castle with everyone watching. Pansy and Millie were babbling on about how they're going to set up a date for them and all sorts when Draco's attention turned to Pike. It's true, Pike said, winning his attention. You're actually gay? He spoke with a disgusted and amused look. What makes you think that? Draco said sarcastically. Now that's not the time for sarcasm, Malfoy, he said, yanking him out of Millie's grip. Are you gay? Draco had never seen Pike so serious. He said he was usually the more playful one. Would it be a problem if I was? He said angrily. Is your head in the clouds or something? Of course, gay people make me sick as fuck. Made me sick as fook. You cannot be gay for Potter, right? It would be just a phase, Pike said, disgust written all over his face. I'm sorry, Pike, you son of a bitch. I don't need you looking into my sexuality, okay? And the answer is no. It would not be a problem if I were gay, and I do not fancy Potter. Draco spat, giving him a death look, showing Pike not to mess with him. Right, well, it's just my opinion. I mean, Draco gave another glare to the boy to show him to shut up. At Hogsmeade, Pike and Millie went off into Honeydukes, leaving Blaise, Draco, Pansy, and Theo. So you are coming with me. Pansy pointed at Draco, who sighed, looking sympathetic at Blaise and Theo, who were sniggering at him. Bye, guys. Catch you at 2. She pulled Draco's hand along. See ya, Blaise said, still recovering from laughing. Right, dresses. Come, Dray. It's like a dog, Pansy said demandingly. Draco had no chance of getting out of this one. He sighed again and accepted his fate. She pulled him into glad rags, wizard wear to find a dress with compatible colors. Draco stood staring at his friend with his arms crossed and an eyebrow raised. We can go somewhere you like after. She finished doing what? After we're finished doing what I like, okay? She said with a warming smile. Thank you. Draco uncrossed his arms, throwing them in the air. Pansy went back to looking for dresses. Draco sat down in a black leather square seat. It wasn't huge, but big enough to fit a 14-year-old boy on. Pansy, I know a lot of 14-year-old boys that are really tall. They can't say that. Because I know a 14-year-old boy that was around almost 6 foot. They were really tall in my middle school. Pansy was holding 5 or 7 dresses in her hand and skipped to Draco. Which one do you think? This green one? Or she was rummaging through the other dresses. This green one or this green one? She grasped, picking up one that just fell on the floor. This one is gorgeous. Look, Draco. Draco looked up at the short, dark, and light green dress, with light green in the thin line at the bottom of the dress. And around the sleeves and neck with silky green fabric with the rest of the dress. Sure, looks nice, I guess, he said, standing up. I'm going to get this one. Be right back. She dumped the rest of the dresses onto Draco's arms and went in the line to pay for it. Draco went to put them all back, putting them all in their right place, on rightful places. He stepped backwards, only to crash into someone. Watch it, he said, turning around. Potter? He stood still, not taking his eye off him. Hello to you too, Draco, Harry said, staring at him as well. Where are you? Where? Were you looking for dresses? Draco said teasingly. You would suit a dress. Excuse me, Potter? I was putting back dresses for Pansy. Draco turned in a stoop to go back to Pansy. When he felt a hand on his shoulder, he looked over his right shoulder. I'm sorry, Draco. I don't know why you're upset with me, but this is going to be very difficult if you hate me. Draco saw his vulnerable face and part of him would have made fun of him. And a part of him would have made fun of him, but the majority wanted to apologize. Look, Potter, I'm sorry. He sighed, looking over to Pansy to see where she was in the queue. She was just paying. But I've got to go. Pansy's waiting. And started making his way over to his friend. All right, see you Monday. Harry walked over to find his dress robes. Okay, I bought these now. So we can go wherever you want to go now, she said, her voice getting duller by each word. You don't need to ask me twice, but first I need dress robes. Wait outside, Draco said, pushing her out the shop. What? Why? I want to help, the brunette said, getting a little moody. because it will only take a minute. And he went into the shop to find his robes. He knew what he was looking for, so it didn't take him long to find a black suit with a clear white tie and a silk black cloak. I would never get anything white because makeup, dirt, anything like food. I'm too messy for that. That goes down to his ankles. Perfect. He got out 10 galleons and 20 knots. Fun. He went to find Pansy, who was sitting on the bench and huffing every 30 seconds, what seemed like an hour to her. "Hey, Pans," he said, grabbing her arm and heading to the 3 broomsticks. Oh, no. No, thank you, HBO. You can piss off. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Be happy, be healthy, and always be loving. And do you guys still want me to do the extra YouTube channel where I read normal stories like that are actually not fan fiction? They are actual stories that someone made up. There is a story that I just got, which is about her mate, and she doesn't want a mate and stuff like that. I thought it was pretty good. I read first couple of pages of it, and I thought you guys might like it. And I might read the Harry Potter series. Maybe it. Maybe not, because there is an orgy in it. So, fun. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. Be happy, be healthy, and always be loving. Don't forget to subscribe, put on push notifications, and tell me what you want to hear next. Bye-bye.